Hey friends! All right, this video is the difference between traumatic death and medical death. In the other video, we talked about in medical death how the energy of the vitality of the system starts to consolidate at the base of the spine and then exit out the crown of the head, and kind of the transition process in a hospice situation or end stage disease process. That's what we say is medical death. Expected, right? In a traumatic death, it's different because you're in your body and then you're not in your body. And there's like this shock and kind of this confusion and this state of like needing to, it's almost like a decompression, right? An explanation and a decompression that has to happen. So as a paramedic, I had the honor of helping transition 20 to 40 people, like actively watching them die. But I saw hundreds and hundreds of dead bodies and deaths in all different kind of capacities, okay? And in the traumatic death, it was the primary difference is like we'd pull up on scene and say there was a woman trapped in a car, her body was trapped in pin, firefighters are working on extrication. Well, I could see her standing next to the car trying to figure out like what's going on, right? Now the soul itself looks like the person, it's just transparent, you can see through it. And as an energetically sensitive person, it's like I had a lantern there. Like she could tell that I could see her and I could tell that she could see me, right? And so I would begin this conversation with her just around like, hey, do you understand what's going on? They're gonna get your body out, we'll start CPR, but you're dead. You've died, okay? And that was a whole conversation in and of itself. 9 times out of 10 on a traumatic death, I would see celestial angels come in. Very celestial, angelic, very, very specific in trauma. And for me, after seeing it so many times, because yeah, angels are also present in medical deaths, but it was almost more so family members and just like comfort, right? This is like you're so blown out and so confused and so like freaked out that there's almost this like embrace that needs to happen, right? So these celestials would come in with this really gentle, loving embrace and just take the time. And I would watch the soul, like looking at the body, looking at the angel, looking at me, looking at the angel, looking at the body, looking at the angel, looking at me, looking at the, right? And then ever so slowly, there would be this like reckoning or coming to terms with process where the soul would turn into or towards the celestial, and then they would merge, okay, into is just light. And then it looked like fireflies. They'd just go, and it would just be like fireflies. I saw this, I can't even tell you, so many times, right? On car accidents, motorcycles down on the freeway, decapitations, drive-by shootings, assault with a deadly weapon, like, anything where the person was like in their body and then just not in their body anymore. And so that coming to terms with the celestial frequency process seemed to be almost like assistance in like that process of coming to terms with the completion of this incarnation. And while it was, seeing a traumatic death, like shotgun blast to the head with brain matter dripping off the ceiling or brain on the floor, like that's traumatic to everybody around here, right? But the person, the soul that just went through that experience, they're staring at it and they're trying to wrap their brain around, yeah, you get it. They're trying to make sense of it, right? And so in terms of the energetic aspect of it, it's still a very organic process and unfolding, okay? From what I saw, even if the person died out in the middle of the woods, lost hiking, hypothermic, whatever, body's been out there for 2 weeks or whatever, the individual is never alone in death. Okay, you're never, ever going to be alone in death, no matter how you transition. Loved ones will come, pets will come, celestials will come, religious archetypes will come, okay? And so there's nothing to fear. And even if you're atheist, even if you only believe that math is God, like whatever your belief, man, you do you, right? And I have, for when I've personally witnessed, and then when I showed up on those hundreds of scenes and watched the process, I never saw, like I always saw some sort of guidance, okay, that would talk to and communicate with the soul and get them into a state of acceptance so that they could transition into beyond this reality. So I hope this is helpful to you. That's the difference between traumatic and medical death. And there's many, 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 many more things to share. And I want to hear what you guys got to say. Ask me questions. What kind of videos do you want to hear about? I got stories for days. We can go on forever. Let me know what you want, okay? And if you haven't already, go check out my YouTube, check out my Facebook, check out my Instagram, and it's Multiverse of Wellness, brand new launching. And so I'm super excited. Thank you guys for everything. I love you. Let's keep in touch.